I would say let's kick it off with campaigns, because probably all our audience are doing the UI or kind of like related to creatives, etc. I would say what's new in the creative space? How would you kick it off? Let's go, what's new? What do you think about the fresh updates, about the evolution of campaign types and stuff?
Yeah, I think the reason we're talking about creatives at all is, to just take a step back and think about the evolution of UA as a whole. Like, if you don't mind, just a quick history lesson, which I'll probably be wrong on some points, so I wouldn't mind some correction if warranted. But if you think back to the launch of the smartphone, paid games were the first thing, right? And it was really up to the distribution partners, Google and Apple, that drove UA. Free-to-play games hit, but a lot of UA is still being driven by like press and PR and stuff like that. We start to see the ramp up of paid UA with hyper-casual and cheap targeting on social media. Obviously, that goes away with the IDFA and everything like that. And then alongside that, the networks that are winning in the space are becoming increasingly algorithmic, increasingly black box. Like, if you look back like 7, 8 years ago, people like Michael spent most of their time managing waterfall deals and getting eCPM guarantees and fill rate guarantees and really squeezing a lot of juice out of their games. The networks have kind of taken that out of the developers' hands, have taken that control away from developers. Not to say that there's not a lot of money to be made, but fundamentally where we are now is you have a few levers at your disposal, and this is where I could be wrong, so please correct me, but you have bid, how much you're willing to spend per install, and that's obviously limited by your LTV. You can't spend more than that responsibly. And you have creative, and I guess to a certain extent daily spend or total spend. So there's a lot of focus on, okay, well, what can I do in my creatives to drive them down? I don't know about you, but when I was in publishing and doing design and production, 9 times out of 10, my first creative was always the best. And you're just throwing stuff, like people would spend like so many creative variants trying to find a winner, and if they found a winner, it was short-lived and very Sisyphean effort. You're pushing a rock up a hill and it rolls right back down. So I think that's why we're talking about creative, is that it's just one of the last places that you still have control. But I think if we think about what's coming in the evolution of UA, is there an opportunity to give developers more control of their inventory again? I think that's something that would be very interesting to explore, particularly when it comes to like what's been black boxed. But I will say